I want to introduce Eugene Kiver. His course is Overview of Washington's Geologic Landscape. The course starts on October 5th. If you were enrolled in Professor Kiver's course in the spring of 2020, when it was abruptly ended because of the pandemic, you will be very happy to learn that he is finally able to teach his course as we return to in-person courses. I recently asked Gene for a couple of fun facts about himself. He said he has been involved with geology in Washington State for over 50 years, and he has climbed all active volcanoes in Washington except Glacier Peak. Gene led the first expedition to map and study the geothermal ice caves on Mount Rainier and in Sherman Glacier on Mount Baker. Welcome, Gene.
Yeah, great to be here, and thanks to folks who are clicking in to find out about the geology of Washington. And I'm going to take you on a pretty wild tour through the entire state that you can see on the screen here. And so it's a big state. It's got a lot of variety to it. And you're going to learn something about the highlights of what is here, how it got here, and so forth. So one of the aspects here, if we go back to this screen, if you look at Washington State, it's what we're going to be doing is I'm dividing it up into what we call geomorphic provinces. And so if you go over to the west side there, you can see that we've got mountains along the edge. We've got the Salish Sea in between the Coast Range and the Cascade Range. So these are all kind of units that we'll be looking at. And the light colors, of course, are the higher elevations. If you go up to northeastern Washington, you're going to see more mountains, and this is part of the Rocky Mountains. So part of the northern Rocky Mountains, so that's going to be part of what we're going to do. And so this wild tour is going to take the last billion with a B years of Earth history. And most of Washington is much younger than that. Up in the northeast corner there, we've got some rocks that go back to that billion years. And so we'll kind of start there. And then everything else is going to be new, and everything west of that northeast corner, you're going to see something that's a few 100 million years ago to today, because those processes are still going on. And so we are basically a mountain state, and we'll get into why are there mountains. That's going to get us into plate tectonics. And we're also going to look at what kinds of landforms we have here. So that gets us into the big glaciers that occupied our state, at least in the northern section there. And it had some very significant influences, obviously, on the Salish Sea area, Puget Lowland. As you can see, pretty much the northern part of the state, great for skiers, but not a great place to live full time. And we'll look at some other effects. Some of the big effects were that the rivers were cut off, like the Columbia. We had Glacial Lake Columbia kind of in the center there, and way over in northwestern Montana, we got Glacial Lake Missoula, and that episodically would break out, and we would have a flood of unbelievable proportions that would race through that area, green area, the channeled scabland, out through the Columbia River and into the Pacific Ocean. So that's the famous Ice Age floods. This is unique to the Pacific Northwest. And so you're going to see a lot of unique things that in the place that we call home. So looking forward to seeing you in October, and we'll run through the geology of Washington State.